We now come to part two of our presentation for midweek on this June 25th. This is the continuation of our walk through the Apostles' Creed, and today we take our seventh step, the third day he rose again from the dead. Easter is the day which the Creed remembers as the third day. On the previous Friday, Jesus had been put into a tomb, and everyone thought he was gone forever. What a surprise Sunday brought. He rose from the dead. He left the tomb alive. He had a resurrected body. On the third day, he rose again from the dead. Parenthetically, again may refer to the rising twice. First, to go to the realm of the dead and preach, as we covered in last week's video. And second, to begin his resurrected life. The resurrection was an idea that was current at the time of Jesus. It's not it suddenly appeared here. Many people were thinking about it. Though we find very little suggestion of it in the Old Testament, many Jews contemporary with Jesus, including the Pharisees, had come to believe that it was part of God's ultimate plan for recreating the world. They posited there would be a general resurrection of all souls, and it would come at the moment God's kingdom is fully established. So thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When that is accomplished, there would be a general rising of the dead for judgment. In fact, this belief is perpetuated and really articulated in Revelation. Toward the end of the book of Revelation, we do see this general resurrection of the dead. However, the expectation of the Jews was that it would come down the road. Nobody expected anything sooner, and certainly no one was predicting that Jesus himself would appear with a resurrected body, except Jesus himself. We have several stories of his encounters with eyewitnesses. It's interesting to note their descriptions. Jesus seems to appear and disappear like a phantom. When he does appear, his body is solid. In one occurrence, he eats fish. In another, he invites Thomas to touch the wounds. There also seems to be some alteration of his physical traits. At several points, people do not recognize him at first. With Mary, only after he speaks does she see who it is. With the disciples on the road to Emmaus, only when Jesus breaks the bread at supper do they recognize who he is. And then he disappears. These details are helpful, for they draw a distinction between resurrection and resuscitation. Resuscitation is the reanimating of a person given up for dead. Lazarus is an example. He had lain in the tomb several days when Jesus restored his life. It was a miracle. Modern medical techniques are often miraculous when they bring people back to life who show no activity in their heart or brain. These fortunate ones go on to enjoy life, sometimes for many more years. And yet, they, like Lazarus, will eventually enter eternal rest like everyone else. They will die. So that's resuscitation. Resurrection, on the other hand, is what happens after life on this earth truly has ended. At some point, we are given a body. It is sometimes called a spiritual body or a glorified body. And like our soul, it lasts forever. Many people wonder what their glorified body will look like. Will it be the body they had when they were 20, 40, 60, or 80? My personal preference is 28, but perhaps we should not be too literal in this. Jesus was recognizable, but not immediately so. It may be the glorified body carries our basic identity, but not all the details of our earthly body. Put another way, the resurrected body is similar, but different. The appearances of Jesus gives us a glimpse into the future. Even more, they serve to expand our understanding of life. Seeing a resurrected Jesus sends the unmistakable message that there truly is something beyond this world of sight, touch, and sound. There is another reality. It is big, beautiful, and everlasting. It challenges us to think not only of the present, but also of the future. The resurrection calls us to live in two worlds at the same time. There is the kingdom of earth, and there is the kingdom of heaven. And we are citizens of both. Well, that concludes our thoughts, but I hope it does not conclude your thoughts. I hope this presentation helps you think a little more deeply about resurrection and what it means and why it's so important. That's all for now. Next week, we'll go to step number 8. He ascended into heaven. For now, take care. God bless. See you on Sunday.